Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
This podcast is brought to you by Aura. By the time you hear about a data breach, your information has already been exposed for months. On average, companies take 277 days to report a breach. That's 9 months where hackers have access to your personal data. That's why we're thrilled to partner with Aura. Aura is an all-in-one digital safety solution that monitors the dark web for your phone number, email, and social security number, sending real-time alerts if your info is found. It also includes a VPN, password manager, and data broker removal to help keep you safe. For a limited time, Aura is offering a 14-day free trial plus a dark web scan to check if your personal information has been leaked, all for free at aura.com/safety. That's aura.com/safety to sign up and protect your loved ones. That's AURA.com/safety. Terms apply. Check the site for details.
This is On the Map Media.
An intro? All right.
I got obligations. I owe it to myself to get them combinations. The master key to all them locks is here for generations. I went barefoot in the woods and found some meditation. I killed every single ailment with no medication. Not a scholar from the school, but he's still educated. Trailblazing, you can't find this in your navigation. Plant the seeds and watch it grow. Patience, dedication. Teach your family, change your situation. I need less silence. I need more aim to build my wife's new dynasty. No more distractions from you. I need more honesty. I'm still learning self-control. I battle it constantly. We battle that constantly. Procrastination lost another member of his team. I seen affirmations. Got my shit together. I'm a king. If I ever fall again, then I deserve it. Let me sink. I refuse to ride that boat if I bring nothing to the team. I'm very unselfish. I rarely ever put me first. If this music ain't selling, I'm planting seeds into the dirt. Go off grid and don't forget about your worth. Will you need some directions? This Google map won't find that search. I'm so ahead of my time on the watch on. I got no chains cause I'm free with some miles to walk on. Finally got unlimited beats I could talk on. I couldn't afford to buy that lease, so I made them and got strong. Hiking, I'm so close to the top of this mountain. I reached my goals from other times that the mirror was doubting. These for other times my mom couldn't give an allowance. It made me stronger, kept me humble and brutally honest. I got obligations. I owe it to myself to get them combinations. The master key to all them locks is here for generations. Cause I went barefoot in the woods and found some meditation. And I killed every single ailment with no medication. Not a scholar from the school, but he's still educating. A trailblazer, you can't find this in your navigation. Plant the seeds and watch it grow. Patience, dedication. You teach your family, change their situation. Obligations. I owe it to myself to get them combinations. The master key to all them locks is here for generations. I went barefoot in the woods and found some meditation. I killed every single ailment with no medication. Not a scholar from the school, but he's still educating. Trailblazer, you can't find this in your navigation. Plant the seeds and watch it grow. Patience, dedication. Teach your family, change their situation.
My dad used to say you're never ready, but as long as you just go for it, that's all that matters. Failure or success, either one is better than not trying. So, are you ready?
You're gonna learn either way, right?
Yeah, are you ready? No, but yes, always ready.
It's the Culture Uncut podcast, Roll Up Network, on the Map Media. We off the grid with it, doing it live, Blue Ridge Mountains, location unknown. I'm with artist, producer, engineer, pioneer in his own right, the man, the myth, the legend, creme de la creme, him with the brim. If you don't know, you about to know. Manny P.
Woo, 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 woo. OTM in this bitch. Yeah, we on the map, off the grid. What's up, world? Culture Uncut. I appreciate y'all. What it do?
So tell the world, who is Manny P?
Manny P is he's a student of the game. I'm a pure music artist, and I'm very independent, self-sufficient. So we try to do anything we can that we're capable of for ourselves. I'm a music artist. I'm a producer. I'm a videographer, and I'm an off-gridder. We just We just try to live a different lifestyle that makes sense. And being a student of the game of music has definitely structured how we go about ourselves on our day-to-days. And that goes back to just being self-sufficient and independent. So that's who Manny is. That's who I try to, be. That's who I'm becoming. I'm becoming a better version of myself every day. So it's just trying to continue down that path,
On the path to building, being self-sufficient, learning, growing, honing in on our talents and our crafts. World, meet Manny P.
Yeah. What up, world? Get used to it. Get used to my face. Get used to the sounds. Got a single out right now called Obligations, and you can basically get a nice little introduction to who I am as a person just by listening to my music.
So I want to hear your journey of being off the grid.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey, man. We decided to go off the grid, right after COVID had happened. We were living in Florida, and things just seemed a little bit weird. We just wanted to take some steps into securing our future. So we actually moved from Florida, and we came up to Georgia, and we were actually looking at some cabins. We started looking for land. Even before that, my wife Monique, DJ Modella, she was already doing a lot of research into the area because I don't know, we felt something, it was just like we felt it. It was time to do something different. And we actually found where we're at now. It was the last property that we looked at when we were actually looking for properties. And in December, that's going to be 3 years. And how you said with the 3 years, I definitely didn't go without a cell phone or without Wi-Fi of any sort. But we did go out. We went without the outside world. I was talking to Jeremy earlier. I'm like, yo, I can't have a sprained ankle. How am I gonna make it to my car? How am I gonna get supplies up and down? So it's just my experience being off grid is I'm a lot more reserved than I was. I take my time to do a lot of stuff, and here in Blue Ridge, it's said we're on mountain time. So if you from the city, you over here trying to do something quick, you're gonna have a reality check when you come here, because they're not gonna be as fast paced. It's gonna still be as efficient. But I love that now, because I always was in such a fast paced environment where I'm doing so much and I'm trying to do so much within a certain amount of time. And now what I feel is I need a lot less from the outside world, so it gives me more time to really hone in and do the things that we are supposed to do.
Word. So speaking of the outside world, how has unplugging from the outside world, mainstream media, that whole big music industry, how has that influenced your creative process?
It's definitely shifted how I feel about the industry in general. I don't like where the industry is in its current state. I don't like that we have to follow certain trends and have to do certain things that have been hammered down from generation to generation, where it's just like, no, this is how it's supposed to be done. Oh, you have to do it this way. But it's just like every time I tried to follow that path, I failed. Or not necessarily failed, but I was just so discouraged because it wasn't going the way I wanted it to. But once I was able to slow down a little bit better, like you said, disconnect, I get to be real true to myself. One thing that I really have a passion towards is just like speaking, be realistic, Hip hop was built, the metaphors where you can say some crazy shit going out of the world. I feel like that's dope for like the lyrical rappers, and you can say some cool, but like a lot of people are really trying to reference a lot of things that they don't really do in real life. And it's fine, live your life how you want, but it's just like what I really want to do with my music is really be very direct with how I live in my regular life. I'm not gonna rap about nothing that is shit that we don't really do or even want to be a part of. I'm real big about just being yourself and being very real. I'm very transparent.
So being cut off from the world, do you have any like outside influences when it comes to like listening to music, or are you just completely shut off? You don't listen to what nobody else is listening to? Or?
Well, it kind of goes back with the who is Manny P. I'm a student of the game, so off rip, music is my love. So off rip, my favorite artists that I feel like I'm mostly influenced by are gonna be like a Music Soul Child, a Nas, and Immortal Technique. And it's such a crazy trio because one, I feel like I learned so much. I learn about love, relationships with music. I learn about life and hustling with Nas. And then I learn a lot about politics and people through Immortal Technique. And I felt like that definitely shaped me well as an individual growing up. Because off rip, I never really was an industry nigga. I can make the industry music, but there's a difference. I don't want to make that. And right now, actually, I'm finally making music that I really, really love and enjoy. So it's easy for me to want to come on different sources to actually, say where I'm at right now. Because before, honestly, it was a lot of forced radio interviews, the same shenanigans that the rappers and industry or independent artists go through. I've been through all that. I've been through that with the promoters. I've been through that with the marketers. I've been through that with the DJs. I've been through that with even me as my business, being a videographer and engineer. I'm the one recording and mixing the songs. So it's like I have a very big footprint at what I do, but I feel like it's way more important because I'm actually able to do me. Like realistically, I've never really been this much confident in my own music than I have. I've always been confident in my skill because I can get booked for anything. I'm dope at what I do. However, with music, it's always been an insecurity because I'm like, damn, well, I'm different. I'm all right like them. And maybe they might not like it, but you really like they try to say like, you need to cater towards the youth, you need to cater towards the club and and but what I felt, I live in we live in the Blue Ridge Mountains where it's a big tourist area. And I see a lot of beautiful black people from Atlanta coming here that are young people that love being in nature. So I'm like, nah, it ain't gotta be always the club thing. People actually like being connected with nature and everything like that. We ain't always trying to be in the club, being fucked up and all that type of shit. Like we trying to, we trying to live our life the way we want to, and the people that kind of have the same mindset as me, I feel like when they listen to my music in general, they're gonna be quite surprised, especially how I carry myself in my personal life, because it's literally a direct reflection of my music.
All right, so let's get real. Let's be real quick. Let's be honest, right? We in the middle of the woods, Blue Ridge Mountains. They just had a Bigfoot sighting not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? And you worry about nothing creeping up on you out
I
here?
respect nature, so I'm not fearful of things like that. We have black bear. There's wolves. There's coyotes. I'm not worried about that because the simple fact is, if it was an issue, I'm gonna protect myself and it'll get handled. I mean, like chances are it won't survive, considering how we are. But other than that, I respect nature, so I don't really care about none of that. Like that because honestly, when you first do move here, it's different. So even me, like I used to walk around with my gun all the time. And then I felt stupid after a couple of months because I'm like, nigga, this is your land. Like, ain't shit fucking with you. I've seen snakes. I've seen, you saw the deer when you were coming into the driveway, right? It's like we got a lot of wildlife around here. So it's like, I'm not going to mess with the wildlife. I love it. I appreciate it for what it is. It's blessed me.
All right, so let's talk about then other challenges that may be a problem, like access to like necessities, food, medical, stuff like that. Have that ever like raised a red flag? Because I remember like when we was in Alaska, it would we would get snowed in, and having access to fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. Like if you like have a special diet, it could be a problem. Does any of that like kind of raise a red flag?
When it comes down to let's say groceries, we got we're 10-15 minutes away from multiple grocery stores in different towns, so it's not a biggie to go to the store. It's not going to be like, oh, we're in the middle of the boondocks where there's nothing and there's no resources. The purpose of choosing where we did was to make sure that we had resources to not worry about those type of things.
How you get buy-in from the wife, on something like that, on something?
Say that again. How do I get
buy-in?
How do you get buy-in?
Right.
You research it, you save up, and you do it.
Get buy-in from your wife. You know, like get her to want to like be invested in this off-the-grid experience. A lot of women, you know, you tell them, hey, we about to be in the middle of the woods. You know, we about to get it out the mud, do everything. You know, taking our trash, whatever we got. You know, like how do you get by him?
It was more her idea than anything. You think I want to be off grid? She want to be off grid.
Oh, so she had to get by.
Oh, absolutely.
She had to get you.
Yeah,
so.
like minds. You know, great minds think alike, and it was one of the conversations that we had that there was no arguments or anything. It was like, yo, you trying to do? Hell yeah, we watching, because we used to watch a lot of tiny home videos, and we're like, yo, I think I could do that. We could do that. I know everybody listening to this shit that watching tiny homes talk about, oh, I could do that. Do it. Straight up. Do it. Because we did, and kept it moving, you know, and now I've had the time to be able to find myself and be the best artist that I could be, but also like the best husband, the best friend, the best son. I see things from different angles, and it's just helping me become a better self.
I love it. All right, so first single is titled No Obligations.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Boom. I got obligations, and pretty much when it comes down to that, I feel like it's going to be such a relatable track to a lot of people that just, you don't got to be off grid to know that you got obligations. You got shit that you really got to take care of. You know, us as men, we are the ones that got to put shit together, and we have obligations. We got family we got to take care of, and whether you're doing it physically, financially, mentally, you know, you really got to hold yourself to a higher level, because a lot of people are looking up to us. You know, you might not think the kids is watching, but they watching.
Or I always say, once you see behind the cloth, it'll change your outlook on a lot of things in life. So four bars I told you that stood out to me, right?
Yeah.
Bar one, no obligations. Teach your family, change your situation.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that line, bro.
Yeah.
So question I want to ask you, like, what's the most valuable lesson that, you know, you're going to be able to teach your family with your message?
I think it's thinking outside of the box. Just being able to take a different direction, and not always playing the cards you're dealt, you know? I feel like if they're able to see what I do, and if they're able to hone into the things that we're honing in where we're at right now, they're just going to be in such a better position when they get older.
All right.
You know? And that's not necessarily for the younger ones, but, you know.
No doubt, I feel that, because I listened to something earlier, and it was talking about, you know, having an imagination. You know, like, you only know what you see, and that's all you know. Then you don't know, like, you kind of lose out on having a vision, on building something from the grassroots of things, right?
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
This podcast is brought to you by Aura. Imagine waking up to find your bank account drained, bills for loans you never took out, a warrant for your arrest, all because someone stole your identity. Hackers aren't waiting. Why are you? That's why we're thrilled to partner with Aura. Your personal data is a goldmine for hackers, and Aura helps lock it down. Aura monitors the dark web, blocks data brokers from selling your information, includes a VPN for private browsing, and a password manager to secure your accounts before criminals break in. For a limited time, Aura is offering our listeners a 14-day free trial plus a dark web scan to check if your personal information has been leaked, all for free at aura.com/safety. That's aura.com/safety to sign up and start protecting yourself and your loved ones. That's aura.com/safety. Terms apply. Check the site for details.
So I think the key to the message, what you just said, was, you know, have an imagination.
Yeah.
You know, the world is bigger than what you see in front of you.
Yeah, that's huge. Imagination. Like, I'm glad you said that, because realistically, a lot of people don't believe it till they see it. And for me, I'm definitely one of those individuals. I didn't see a lot of stuff until I left my city. I didn't see a lot of things that were even believable. And then when I'm starting to see a lot of these things, I'm like, wow, that's holy crap. What? That's possible? And then I'm doing it for myself. So it's just like, yeah, and it's wild what an imagination will do for you, for real. But just basically being able to show some things that they might not necessarily believe. They might not believe this is possible. So for at least me even being able to carry myself how I do, and maybe it might change or maybe it might not. But I definitely think it has a better. It's definitely more positive.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%, because I think like culturally, we like a lot of people like just have like a local mindset, and they don't see like outside of that area code or what's going on like in other countries, not only other states, but sometimes you get trapped in your local environment and you think, or not. Another aspect of being off the grid is you get caught up in the likes, the comments, and the social media world.
The gratitude.
Yeah.
They get your endorphins rolling and stuff. But I think what happens is, if you're real comfortable with yourself and you got a strong team behind you, realistically, if you got some real good people around you where you can feel that sense of excitement when you send it to your peoples, instead of worrying about what the outside world really think, I think you'll be more in tune with yourself. And it's hard because, of course, you want to have a lot of likes. You want to have a lot of people engaging and stuff like that. But I feel like, realistically, I'd rather have 10 people that actually really rock with me and engage with me than 100 ghosts.
Word. And that's what I always tell people, just gravitate to the love. Not everybody gonna like you. Not everybody gonna share your content. And from being like a creator, what I've learned in this space is, not everybody gonna like your shit, but just gravitate to the ones that do. That's your little small circle, and just focus on those people. Send them what you're doing, updates, and then your network will just grow from there. And
exactly. And then you're more true to yourself, right. And you become more comfortable with the direction that you're trying to take. Because even for me, we're so close to Atlanta that it's just like, sometimes a nigga feel forced to like, let me go ahead and do this real crazy song on the trap beat real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the club popping and whatnot. Because the formula in Atlanta is like, okay, I lived in Atlanta for so long, and I was part of this routine for so long, where it's just like, you do the record, and immediately from there you go into the strip club, and the strip club is popping with that record. You got yourself a record. So what did that tell you to the average music, a musician that might not be making, that type of music or whatnot, that I made this and they ain't rocking with it in the club, and obviously my shit garbage. It don't necessarily mean that. I think there's different formulas for different places, and that's where it comes down to really trying to figure out your demographics, seeing the people that really do rock with you, and weeding it out and being happy with it. Everybody's not gonna hit and go viral or anything, but if you're really true about yourself, or what, I have a more sense of gratitude from the people that are actually engaging with me now, because I'm doing shit that I love now, compared to making songs years ago that they're all right, but I might have not been fully invested into it, as a person. I might have just been making the record just to make it. So now I'm like, people are like, I love what you're doing. I love the scenery. I love the guidance. I love what you're trying to do. And
so I think the biggest thing for me, my bad, I don't mean to cut you off, my brother. I think the biggest thing to me that stood out with what you said was staying true to yourself. And that was going to be like my next line or bar that you said in your song, No Obligations. You said, I'm still learning self-control. I battle that constantly. I feel that we all have battles. We all have something that we're dealing with, and in some form, way of fashion, right? How do you overcome that, and how do you speak to that?
When I say I battle it constantly, it's just like there's so many vices that come at different times. Even hanging out with your peoples. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we used to vibe out and party the fuck out, nigga, like, we vibing, you ain't on that. No, it's different. We have to figure out better ways, and it goes from so many different ways. Like even like me personally, for me, I quit smoking blunts. So I used to be the big 3-5 every god, even all most of the music I got right now, even some of the singles I got on the album during that time, like this is brand new for me. So I haven't been smoking blunts in like 2-3 months, but I've been smoking them shits my whole life. So most of my music is going to be 3-5, the big blunts. So when I hear that music and I hear the old me, I want to smoke a blunt. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't drink liquor like that.
Like Pookie,
you know what I'm
Pookie. You ain't scratching like Pookie.
No, and it's not even on that, because I feel like I've definitely been able to build self-control, and that's where it's most important. If you're really trying to change and you're trying to get your shit together, it's self-control. Now, once you can control that, you're still gonna battle the vices, but like for me, like I don't smoke blunts. Straight up, niggas might no. So it's just like you know you got to cut it out, but you still have to have self-control. But we're just because the battle ain't over, so we still battling, you know. So and that goes for anybody from any aspect. So I feel like it's going to be such a relatable topic of discussion where we can actually talk about that.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. And that's why I said everybody got their own battle that they're dealing with. Naturally, when you do like try to have some type of self-control, there's going to be some resistance within, and that goes back to you conquering, you. It's always me versus me type deal. Another line that stood out for me was, you said, I refuse to rock that boat if I bring nothing to the team. I love that line, bro.
I think that's important.
Because when you're building and you're creating, you want people around you that's in that type of space, same mindset. And you talked about, changing your lifestyle from not like wanting to listen to trap music, do like the daily hustle and bustle stuff. So your mindset is changing, and now you're off the grid. And we're talking about you don't bring nothing to the team. You refuse to ride the boat. How does being off the grid, in a team aspect of things, how does that look?
Now I have more time to really be selective in the things that I do want to do, because now it's more or less like, what do I want to do? I have a song called Lately where it's like, doing for myself is what I ain't do lately. They're like, damn, you amaze me. It's like, a lot of times it's just in our own journeys or whatnot, sometimes we often might go ahead and just, be more resourceful for others than you want to do on your actual own path or whatnot. And you dope at it. So it's just like, you're still going to ride and you're still going to do the things. And I mean that as like, especially as like an engineer for me. The more I fall back from like more like, like more radical trap music and shit, the more I move from that, I feel like I refuse to ride that boat because I bring nothing to the team. Like, what am I going to do? Mix your record for you to just go play it for the same ones I'm trying to change their opinion? I'm trying to give them game, and then they're going to fuck with your record more. That might have more of a bop to it or whatnot. So my message might get, totally washed under the carpet by introducing you to my people. So I refuse to ride that boat because I literally bring nothing to the team. Like I can't help you blow up something that I don't agree with.
That makes sense. So speaking to the team aspect of everything, shout out to the chef Jeremy. He's back there preparing us a nice meal, and he got all the local greens in front of us. But I was listening. He did a catering gig for Math, Rich Paul. I was watching something Rich Paul had said not too long ago where he was in the early stages of him and LeBron's relationship. LeBron didn't know. He just put him on payroll. And Rich was like, why you put me on payroll? He didn't have no title for him. He was like, I don't know. I just something about you. I just need your energy around me. So he recognized, he didn't know exactly what his role was going to be and what he brought to the table, right? But he knew he needed that person. He knew that person added value to what he's trying to create. Is the reason why I asked you that question, because it makes a ton of sense. Like, all the skill sets that you possess, right? You know how to do everything from start to finish when it comes to this business. and you refuse to jump on any boat if it's not aligned with your vision. And I think that's hella dope.
It's definitely something that's been hard to do, but being off the grid is something that you have to kind of like commit yourself towards, because we got time, but not that much time. We on mountain time, so we gotta really focus on what we're trying to do and take it to a whole nother level.
Okay. I'll tell you what are there any artists that inspire you?
Tell you the truth, like I'm a all-time Nas fan, so him dropping all the new stuff with Hit Boy, that just that made me feel like a kid again, and that's where I try to really like vibe out to, like those type of vibes. But I don't be on Rap Caviar, and I really have stopped. Like since I started, since I dedicated myself to want to finish my album, I haven't really been listening to outside music.
What about collaboration? You collaborate with off the grid artists, or were you looking forward to as a collaborator? I
think everything is about connections. So like most of the artists that I do features with, like we're well connected, like we're homies, and I tend to only get features when it's needed, because I know they have something to say that's gonna really set the tone. And but other than that, I don't feel like I just want to sit there and do records with everybody and everything. Like I have fun doing my own shit. So but most of the time, like I got True Wiz on this project. He was on the Diamond in the Rough. That shit go crazy. And then I got my partner Remedy, where he's spitting the verse on Stand On It, where he went so crazy on the verse that I can't even do a verse. So I'm like, nigga, I'm just on the hook, nigga, you on the song, so you made the album, nigga, be happy. And but nah, he's an ill dope ass hip hop artist, so whatever fit the vibe is what I tend to go for when I'm doing features with artists.
Alright, so let's look to the future. That bag is about to get here real soon, right? So bag get here, bam, pockets full. You have, millions of people come to your acres of land to watch you perform, watch you do your thing. You get 3 features. Who would it be on your album?
Ooh, dope. Oh, man. Dope. It goes back to the original question. Music Soul Child, Nas, and Immortal Technique. Bang. Them 3 niggas right there.
No females?
I don't need them. I got Modella.
But you need a female. What the hell?
I got Modella, and if I was gonna have a female artist, it'd be my homegirl Mitch Jones.
Word.
Yeah, literally. She a fire artist from Florida, and I feel like she's something to be. She's something that's gonna be dope for the game, because I feel like she could regulate all the bullshit that's going on right now.
Word. So before we get to that point, let's talk about being off the grid and connecting to your fans. What's your process on connecting to the people who are out in the world?
Yeah, well, right now it's being consistent. I have to make sure that I'm being serious with myself, serious with my time, and serious with them. If I'm gonna give them this music, I gotta make a commitment to being real consistent and really in this message. So I think if I could stick to this plan, it's gonna be dope. I would love to see years behind it. We've been off the grid for 3 years, and it's amazing what we did off,
What's your plan on delivering it to your audience?
Independency. It's different from artist to artist, but for me, it's independency. People are gonna come directly to my website. I feel like I don't really rock with the digital platforms. It's just convenience for the end listener. So if you really a fan, make it convenient for the artist. Come to my site, mannyp.com.
Okay, so what's the rollout for this upcoming album? Once I go to mannyp.com, I imagine everything's going to be laid out on your website. So are you planning on rolling that out?
Well, we got Obligations that we're going to be running for the rest of the fall, and then we're going to drop a new single called No Excuses. After that, we will have an official date for the album. However, if you are a regular on the website, you'll definitely be more updated, and you're going to get more details than you would if you were just following me on like an IG platform. But if you like the music, please visit, and you'll be able to actually get day-to-day updates of what's actually going to happen. Because, if you're loyal, it'll probably be there one of these days, and you just go on the website, like, out of nowhere, like, oh, shit, before a nigga make a post, so.
Word. So what's next for Manny P?
We're about to make this fire. We're about to vibe out with our peoples. And in general, this is the daily. So what's popping with me? It's developing great content, delivering a great message, but also being in tune with your friends and family. Family most after, friends to family, regardless of color. This is how we've been. We off the grid, on the map. DJ Modela.
So we off the grid, off the map. Tell the people where they can find you. Not this location, but give the people your socials.
Yeah, you can find me at mannyp.com, and all my socials will be there. All the music, all the beats, everything.
Word. Any shout outs?
Hey, shout out everybody that I love. And let's keep it going. Bless up. Obligations off the grid.
No doubt. A lot of lessons learned. My message to you guys, from listening to the Master MC himself, don't get caught up in the matrix. Acceptance, like, share matrix is what I'm talking about. There's a huge world outside of your four corners or wherever you live at. Live, learn, enjoy life. It's Culture Uncut podcast. It's Manny P.
All right, come on, Manny.
We out.
Bless him.
Alright, come on, man.
McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. Tender, juicy, and its own sauce. Would you look at that? Well, you can't see it, but trust me, it looks delicious. New McCrispy strips, now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This podcast is brought to you by Aura. By the time you hear about a data breach, your information has already been exposed for months. On average, companies take 277 days to report a breach. That's 9 months where hackers have access to your personal data. That's why we're thrilled to partner with Aura. Aura is an all-in-one digital safety solution that monitors the dark web for your phone number, email, and social security number, sending real-time alerts if your info is found. It also includes a VPN, password manager, and data broker removal to help keep you safe. For a limited time, Aura is offering a 14-day free trial plus a dark web scan to check if your personal information has been leaked, all for free at aura.com/safety. That's aura.com/safety to sign up and protect your loved ones. That's AURA.com/safety. Terms apply. Check the site for details.